Close your eyes and picture this. It is the year 1347. You live in a quiet European town. Life is tough but steady. Farmers rise with the sun, children laugh in the streets, and the church bells mark every hour. Your world feels small, predictable, and safe. But one autumn evening, rumors sweep through the marketplace. Strange ships have docked in the Sicilian port of Messina. People whisper of sailors who are already dead, and of survivors covered in black swellings, coughing blood, and crying out in agony. No one knows what it is, but soon it will come for you too. The horror spreads faster than anyone can imagine. The disease travels with merchants, soldiers, and pilgrims through trade routes, along rivers, across seas, within months. It has reached Italy, France, Spain, and England. By 1350, it claws its way into Germany, Scandinavia, and Russia. Doctors are powerless, priests kneel in prayer, but even they fall silent in death. Some people believe it is God's punishment for the sins of mankind. Others turn to the stars, saying the planets themselves have aligned to curse humanity. Fear twists into anger. Minorities, especially Jews, are blamed and slaughtered in desperate, tragic acts of scapegoating, but the real killer is far smaller, unseen to the human eye. Fleas that live on black rats carry a deadly bacterium, Yersinia pestis, and with every bite, the plague spreads. It comes in three terrifying forms: bubonic plague, swollen, painful lumps called buboes, fever, chills, and almost certain death within a week. Pneumonic plague, attacking the lungs, spreading through a single breath or cough, killing in just days. Septicemic plague, poisoning the blood, turning skin black, bringing death in mere hours. The death toll is unthinkable. In villages, entire families vanish overnight. Cities echo with silence as carts roll down the streets filled with corpses. In Florence, half the population is gone. In Paris, tens of thousands die in weeks. In England, nearly 40% of the people perish. In just 4 years, from 1347 to 1351, the Black Death claims the lives of 25 to 50 million Europeans. That is almost half the continent. Imagine the fear: mothers refusing to hug their sick children, priests too terrified to perform last rites, neighbors sealing their doors and praying the plague passes by. Some people abandon their homes and flee to the countryside only to find the plague waiting for them there. Others turn to extreme faith, whipping themselves in the streets as flagellants, begging God for mercy. The very foundations of life begin to crumble. Fields go untended because farmers are gone. Markets collapse because merchants are dead. Churches stand half empty, their priests buried with their flock. The streets fill with the sound of wailing. And then silence. But even in this nightmare, seeds of change are planted. With so many dead, the survivors suddenly find new power. A peasant can demand higher wages because labor is scarce. Feudal lords, once mighty, watch their power weaken. The church, unable to explain or stop the plague, loses some of its unquestioned authority. Europe begins to shift. From the ruins of the Black Death, new ideas about medicine, science, and human worth slowly emerge. Art changes too. Paintings and writings focus on death, time, and the fragile nature of life. This dark chapter becomes one of the sparks that lead Europe into the Renaissance, an age of rebirth and transformation. The Black Death was not only a tragedy, it was a turning point in human history. Now imagine you lived in 1347. The plague is at your doorstep. Would you cling to faith? Would you flee? Or would you try to fight for survival in a world where half the people you know are gone? Tell me in the comments, how would you face the Black Death?